go. Amazing. That's my boy. That's my boy.
He breaks away from a sack and completes the pass for first down.
Oh, Kittle just may have made the most amazing catch.
He fights for the first down and gets out of bounds too.
It's no good. Overtime. Oh, what a catch. How do you drop that? What are you, Jamal Adams? Touchdown.
This is a touchdown all the way.
He reached over the pylon. San Francisco beat Cincinnati. Well, hello, and welcome to the all-new Pride and Chaos show. Somebody, we're going to do a vote, wants to call it Chaotic Pride. So we'll work out those little details, but it is no longer the Wacky Wednesday show. There's been some changes around here, and I'm going to talk about those changes as there's a bunch, but new season, new show, new. But first, you know who's not new? You, not new. Harlan Abraham, good to see you. Am I annoying you guys yet? Good to see you, Twisted. Twisted's in the house. Harlan's in the house. We got a Klecko in the house. All right, man, that's my boy, Klecko. I love the guy. Jets Mess is in the house. He's here. You know, I might name my dog Klecko, and that, but seriously, like we're getting a new dog, and I'm thinking if it's a boy, I'm going to name it Klecko. But even if it's a girl, they're dogs, right? I mean, you could use Klecko for it doesn't matter. So no more Wacky Wednesday. That's right. There's no more Wacky Wednesday. It is now either. I mean, for right now at this moment, it's Pride and Chaos, which I think is a good name. It's kind of catchy, Pride and Chaos. But somebody thinks it should be Chaotic Pride. We're going to see what you guys think. But you look forward to it. Well, the show is still going to be Harlan. It's still me. It's still me and a co-host, and we're still going to have guests, and we're still going to talk about the Jets. We're just changing the name. You know what I mean? For search engine reasons and algorithms and all that kind of stuff. So don't worry about it, Harlan. We're still here. It's not like we changed the show and now we're going to talk about Pride and Chaos. Well, we're proud people, and that could sometimes make us wild and unpredictable. So we're going to talk about that. Let's talk about unpredictability and human nature. No, we're talking about the Jets. That's the whole point, my friend. So don't worry about it. It's really the same show. Now you're making me feel bad, Harlan. Okay, so here we go. Let me go to prove to you it's the same show, to prove to you that not that much has changed, and that it's going to be a more improved, advanced version of the show. Let's bring back something familiar. Ladies and gentlemen, brace yourselves and get ready, because I'm about to bring in and introduce the Jet Rooting, Big Kaluka Chewy Chewbacca crushing. Don't call it Taylor ham. It's pork roll, eggs and cheese, my friends. The bearded one, the big one. My good friend, my brother. The greatest new co-host. Run the world! Great Nick Shine.
I think you just burst my speakers on my laptop. Hello, sir. Thank you.
I'm going to get sued and people are going to bill me for the damage I'm doing to their computer.
Yes, sir. How's everything? How's everyone?
Oh, he thought it was another cravat. No, when I say my brother, this is my brother.
Another cravat.
I have brothers that aren't biological. Huh?
I'm newly adopted into the family.
He's been adopted into the family.
What's up,
Fungus among us. What's going on, brother? Tony Alexio is in the house. Bring in the Schlevler package. Oh, now he's got okay. So that's gonna be his new thing.
I will.
I knew that.
I will gladly take the Y2J Chris Jericho Millennium Countdown for now on. Before you introduce me, remember when The Rock was in the ring and Jericho debuted?
I don't. I mean, it feels like
No,
I can remember five. I could remember like 5 different
a
times in my life.
Y2K countdown, and it was like,
Oh, the first time he did it. I don't remember the first time he did
the
it.
time
I remember.
expired when The Rock was in the ring and Jericho debuted. Then,
Oh, I love that intro. That was a great intro that he used to do.
yeah.
I like all.
What's up,
I like
boys? What's up? What's up?
The intros were one of my favorite parts of wrestling. It's time to play the game. Please bring the bouncing egg from Wacky Wednesdays. Lovely shiny egghead. Yes, I did shave. I'm not gonna lie. Eminon is in the house. That's right. Snacks all day, baby. Sean Mackett's here. The Guardian is here. There's a place called Temecula in California, just north of San Diego. We beat them
in the Pop Warner, Nikki's team when we went down there 2019. We beat Temecula Valley to get 5th in the nation.
Well, you're lucky that you got in there safely because Sean is one of 3 Macketeers that defend Temecula. So, We the People is here in the house. Good to see you, brother. Miss you. I miss Weed the People all week long. I'm like, I can't wait to get back on so I can see Weed the People. We got to get those. I got to get that Sunday thing going again with Dom because it's like just going live once a week, just not cutting it for me. But anyway, hey, what's going on in Jets world? Nick, what do you want to talk about?
June football discussions. Let's throw Dalvin Cook out there. Dalvin Cook has been very active on Twitter, right? He's been liking tweets by the Jets, the Dolphins, the Broncos. He liked the tweet from Pat McAfee about the structure of the Jets, and then they got a good locker room coming together. Oh man, what did I see today? Give me a second. I should have had it queued up. I'm sorry. He brought up, I retweeted it. Give me a sec. It's loading. New York Jets making a run at Dalvin Cook would make sense to me. Adam Schefter was a guest on the Pat McAfee show today. And they're saying it makes sense. Bring Cook in. A lot of things that a lot of us and a lot of the other podcasters have said is that with Hall, with the gauntlet that we have to start the season, with Buffalo, with Dallas, with Philly, with KC, notice nobody's mentioning New England, dog poop. Hall had surgery in November. The only guy to really come back in less than 10 months was Adrian Peterson. Everyone else has needed some time. Now, I know we're hearing very good things about Hall, but you got to remember, too, we can't throw this kid out there early. We need to have a backup plan. Now, I think they're going to wait a little bit. I think both Cook and Hopkins are going to wait for camp to kind of see how it plays out. If there's an injury on a major team, I don't think they're making a move in June. I think late July is when you see these guys make a move, but you'll have a better idea of Hall by then. You'll have a better idea of Izzy. Don't forget, we get training camp to start a week earlier with the Hall of Fame game. So we kind of get to see these rookies. Michael Carter had a down year last year. Carter and Cook, Dalvin Cook, were each in the bottom 7 of 48 qualified running backs in yards expected per carry, and they were negative. So as much as we might want them, Joe Douglas just doesn't throw money around to throw money around. So they might be happy and content with just going with Bam, with Carter, with Izzy until Hall comes back. So, yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting. The Hopkins thing, I mean, you let Corey Davis go and you bring in Hopkins, you're pretty much going to pay them the same amount of money, and you're getting a much better all-around player in Hopkins. So that I would be in favor of. But I mean, if you're taking visits at Hopkins to Tennessee and New England, what happened to your top 5 quarterbacks you wanted to play with list? That, I mean, neither one of those guys are making any top 5 list. You know, they're the only 2 quarterbacks that I mentioned so far on the show, and they're not in top 5 of that. So it's going to be interesting. I think the Jets have the ability to go get whoever they want. I think we are one of those teams that you look at the Jets and people will say, I want to go play there. You know, it could be ring season. You know, you bring some depth to running back, depth to wide receiver. I mean, I think I hate to say it, man, but if we sign those 2 guys, just from the depth aspect of it, you get Dalvin Cook and you use him as your workhorse for your first 6 weeks if Hall's on the PUP list. And then you bring in Hall, and Cook can slowly work his way to a number 2. You got a hell of a 1-2 punch. You got a hell of a 1-2. And we know damn well, more than any team in the NFL, injuries happen, right, Jeff? We get dinged up. Running backs will get dinged up. They'll get stepped on the rolled ankle, toe, little nicks and no pun intended, little bang ups here and there. So I gotta fix that volume. For some reason, your volume dropped to like nothing. Why can't I?
I do want to say, and I think it was mentioned in the chat. If they get Cook, it tells me that Breece Hall wasn't ready, and they don't have 100% confidence in the running back room the way it is until Breece Hall is back, right? Or they got the deal for Cook was too good to pass up. But if we don't do anything, I just want to say, I think what that means is not only does it show that they might have a lot of confidence in Hall coming back when he does, but also that if the offensive line stays healthy, those other guys did fine when before AVT went down. When our offensive line played at any reasonable level, they did fine. And also we have to remember with Aaron Rodgers in there, the opposing defense will no longer be able to put those 8, 9 guys in the box and really stack the box on us because they're going to have to respect Aaron Rodgers, something they didn't do with Zach Wilson.
Agreed.
So I'm gonna let JD decide. Like I'm gonna gauge my opinion by what he does. You know what I mean?
100%. Right, and we know damn well if Joe makes a move, there's logic, there's common sense, there's rationale, there's deep thought, there's financial wisdom put into it, right? He's not throwing out a Le'Veon Bell, CJ Mosley contract. Granted, CJ's been a great Jet, but the money was awful. Let's be realistic with it. So I'm looking at it from an aspect of all systems go. We don't need him. But the running back game in the NFL, if Hall has to miss 6 to 8 games, I would be much happier with Dalvin Cook on a $6 million deal, taking 12 to 15 touches a game and having Knight, Izzy, Carter get 15 between them rather than Izzy, Knight, and Carter, as of right now, getting 30 touches between the 3 of them. I could be wrong. I could eat my words, but I don't think this is a season that we roll the dice. I think we need definitives, and you know what you get with Dalvin Cook. We're going to have a good run game. We're going to have a good play action. He can catch the ball on the field. Yes, he fumbles the ball. I'm not sitting here pounding my chest for it. I'm just saying that if it happens, I think it's a logical move. It tells me, hey, I look at Hall as a long-term piece, right? We can't throw Hall out there and he ruptures his knee again, because then we would just be, shooting ourselves in the foot.
I think if we go out and get Cook, it means that would be the reasoning behind it. Like everything you just said, if we pick up Cook, is the complete and I believe 100% correct explanation. If someone said, "Why did they go out and get Cook?" It's just what you said. If they don't, it means that he's doing a lot better, and he might be like Adrian Peterson because they're talking to the doctors, or they just simply believe in the guys they have. We don't know how good Israel's going to be. Israel Akawangwa, he's pretty special. So look, we just don't
want to
know.
get a Jets jersey that has Israel on the back. That's all. That's all you want.
They would put his last name, Akawangba. Saying it completely wrong. But hey, Tony Alexio just gave us a super chat. Thank you so much, Tony.
Hey, Tony,
we appreciate that. First super chat of the new show, the new era with the new co-host. So we like that. Nick, you could use that to buy a Coke at the pizzeria and some other things.
I don't drink soda.
Oh, that's right. No more sugar for
I'm
you.
not a soda guy. You might have
right.
3 cans of Barks root beer in the entire year. Like I am not a soda guy, and that was even before diabetes. I'm not a soda guy. I would rather have my sugar with cookies and carrot cake. Like that would be me. Like if I'm gonna, I know I shouldn't have a lot, but if I do, I'm not wasting sugar on soda.
That's funny. I have 3 to 5 servings of soda a day. So, but anyway, Salah coaching was as good as Zach at quarterback. I think you mean it as far as the offense, I'm hoping, because he made our defense a top 5 defense in 1 year from being the 32nd best defense. Is Hackett also assistant coach? I think, in my opinion, I forget titles. Anytime you have a coach that's very heavy to one side of the football, the opposite coordinator is kind of like the role of assistant coach, because let's face it, Hackett is going to be in charge of the offense. Right. And I think that if Salah sticks his nose in any part of the team, it's going to be more to the defense. I don't think he's going to be questioning Hackett much or getting that involved as much, because I think you have a lot of veteran offensive coaches in that side. Now, I mean, Salah's going to have questions. He's going to check in. He's going to, he has to know everything. He's the CEO of the team. But I just think that Hackett's going to have, and Rodgers even, and the running backs coach that they brought, the offensive line coach. I think that those guys, I think Salah's going to really trust them to really take care of the offensive side of the ball.
Agreed. And Ulbrich and Salah have a very good camaraderie. They have a very good rapport. They like to run the same scheme. That's why Ulbrich is here. 2 years ago, fans were screaming to fire Ulbrich. Right when you and I started, and with CJ, Weapons Hot, we did a show together. And I was saying that day, they're not firing Ulbrich. They're going to get more talent on defense. They wiped it clean that first year. And you saw a team that didn't have enough talent and didn't have enough depth to compete on defense. What the hell happened in year 2? We went from 32nd to 4th in one offseason. So whether someone has an assistant head coach or the year Salah had COVID, he missed the game. I think Middleton was the assistant head coach, right? Yeah. He was head coach that game. Yeah. So he's very well respected, Middleton. I could see Salah leaning on both guys for trusting them. They're veteran coaches. They both have head coaching experience. We have 3 head coaches or former head coaches, one current, on the staff. So we have an experienced staff. I mean, obviously, Salah's the head coach. He goes up to Hackett and go, "We're going to run it here." I want to run this. He goes, "No, we're running it. Pick a run play." That's just simple shit, right? So I don't see them. I don't think it's a matter of who's the assistant head coach. I think collectively we have a lot of good football minds in the room, and I think they'll all come together. And I really like the dynamic that we've built on the sideline as well as on the field and in the front office. I mean, it sounds crazy to say, and if you guys are watching this right now and you're standing, please sit down. The Jets look competent. Like they look competent in many ways that we haven't seen in a very long time, right?
Yeah, we were just talking about if you watch Hard Knocks. When we were watching Hard Knocks on Green Bean's Patreon account, we were just having the conversation that Mawai or something went down for a game, and the Jets had to poach somebody from somebody's practice squad, a center, and he came in for the one game and he was horrible because he didn't know what he was doing. And it makes me think that year, and that was a year we went to the AFC Championship game, we had no backup center. We were completely unprepared. We had to go out to somebody's practice squad to get it. Now we have at least three players who could play center.
Yeah.
No problem.
In a full
huh?
They're saying competition for center.
Yeah, well, there's a two-man competition, and you got a backup that plays anywhere in the interior. So you have three guys who could play center. So if during the season somebody, whoever is the starting center gets hurt, it's like there's a center who, like, it's probably going to be Tippmann that starts. That's my guess. I think Tippmann's going to win that job. You're going to have McGregor as the backup, obviously center. And then you're going to have that other guy, Schweitz, whatever, I'm forgetting his name, that could play anything.
Schweitzer.
Something like that, yeah. You know me. Hey, thanks for the super chat.
How do you forget the Jewish name? I figure that's the one that rolls right off the tongue, nice and easy for you.
Let me just think of a nice Jewish name. He plays center, and his name is Schweitzer.
Braden,
good to be here.
Can you check your Instagram DM, please? I've been messaging you like crazy. Or can you shoot me a message if you have a different account? I've been trying to get you for a minute, man. I hope you're still in the chat. Thank you.
Hey, I'll do a little trivia question for you. How does Braden pronounce Dunkin' Donuts?
The same way I do. Piss poor coffee.
No, he says Dunkin' Donuts. Okay. It's true.
Not
it's
a
true. That's how he said it.
No, I think I'm new to the coffee game, like 5-6 years, but I can't do Dunkin' Donuts coffee at all.
Really? I used to like it. It used to be very good. It's not the same anymore. Yeah. But when in the 1980s, when they were small and they weren't famous for it, and they were still famous for their donuts, it was we discovered that they had good coffee. But I think when they became known for coffee, they started, obviously start buying in quantity and the quality changes. So
it was the convenience. I'm a quick check guy. You give me Colombian with the purple coffee mate, Italian sweet cream. You give me that combination, I'm the happiest guy in the world. And I gotta take a couple people to task. I saw Matthew Smith, and I forget who the other person was. Carrot cake is the cat's pajamas. There is nothing better than carrot cake. Oh, I think that when he's talking about Cook.
I don't know which outlook he's talking about.
I think that was Cook. I saw that pop in. Listen, I'm not saying give the guy a 4-year, $40 million deal. I'm just saying that if you get a better look at Hall, then if you have some concerns, and if it's not Cook, if it's Hunt, a good pass catching guy, you can use the other guys. You can use Bam Knight, who, don't forget, he played with no offensive line. Fant was out. Mitchell was out. AVT was out. He didn't have he showed some nice flashes, but you get a healthy line, you get a quarterback play that we're going to have. I think all these guys can succeed. But like I said earlier, I just don't think it's a season where we're rolling the dice and doing the old college try and hoping somebody comes through. I think it's more, we need more concrete proof.
Someone mentioned Fudgy the Whale. What's that about? Well, Fudgy the Whale.
You're just being disrespectful to my late father. Carrot cake.
I don't know. All I know is that
birthdays, carrot cake in my family has to be purchased.
We were a Carvel family. We were a Carvel family. My family was Carvel every occasion. I love carrot cake. So no disrespect to carrot cake. I love me some carrot cake. I love me some carrot cake all day long. But Carvel was my family go-to. Like birthdays, Carvel ice cream cake. Not
It's a
the
new
same
era
anymore.
on your channel. I'm bringing up food before you.
I know it's wild.
It is-
I'm
it
trying to
is a
run
new
a show
era.
about the Jets, Nick.
I don't even know who I am anymore.
tell
So many
you- I'll tell
changes
you
in my life these past couple of months. I never thought I'd be out talking food with you.
But if you really want to see Nick go get excited about ice cream cake from Carvel, you have to give him the old cookie opus.
The who?
Cookie opus. You never heard of it? It's the one for St. Patrick's Day. They used to have a cake called Cookie Opus.
Oh, yeah.
And they even had him talk. Hello, my
I-
name is Cookie Opus.
Yes. I remember now that you're going into character. Where I grew up, Dairy Queen was closer. So, and the bowling alley that my dad and my uncle bowled at on Oak Tree Road in Edison, it's no longer there. The building's there, but it's now like an Indian temple or whatever. If I have the word temple wrong, I'm sorry, but it's a church party facility place. But there was a Dairy Queen right next door, like in the same parking lot. And I would be like, Dad, come on, Friday night, 6 o'clock, you brought me to the bowling alley. I got to go to Dairy Queen. And I would go over and I would get a banana malt. I never wanted ice cream. I was a banana malt guy.
And when you say banana malt, you mean that it had the real malt in it. None of the,
Yes.
sometimes
Not a
they used to
milkshake.
call it malt.
I never wanted a milkshake. I wanted the malt.
Malt.
Yes.
Yes. Malt is wonderful.
For sure.
But hey, so we're gonna do a new segment. So let me try to like give it some kind of official thing. Segment time. The new segment called a rant segment where I'll start. I'll do it first. I'm gonna do a timer. I have no more than I have up to 5 minutes, and I have 5 minutes, and I'm going to rant about something that's on my mind. Then you guys in the chat could react to it. Nick could react to it, and then afterwards, when we're done talking about that, Nick will have his rant. But I'm going to start mine right now. Just let me tell Siri. Siri, set our timer clock for 5 minutes. Okay, so my rant is, I am sick and tired of every Jet fan thinking that we have to get every single player that becomes available on the market. I mean, it is completely ridiculous. Every time a player gets cut on Twitter, Jets question mark. And, that's fine, actually. I take it back. It's fine to want every player that gets cut or show interest in every player that gets cut. What really bothers me is when we don't get the player and they sign somewhere else and they say that JD failed. It's like there are 31 other teams in the NFL. 31 other teams. What are we supposed to do? We get every single guy that gets cut is a Jet or JD failed. Guys, there's 53 men on a roster. Look at our team right now. We don't have the space to pick up every single free agent that becomes available. And do not blame Joe Douglas because he can't get every single player to select us over 31 other possible teams. Maybe people like to live in a warm weather state. Maybe somebody wants to play in an indoor stadium. Maybe somebody went to college in Michigan and wants to play for the Lions. I mean, there's other reasons people make choices of what team they want to play for. You cannot hold JD accountable. Nobody goes around and says, what's wrong with that Buffalo GM? He doesn't get every single free agent that hits the market or every player or veteran player that's released. It's just not going to work that way. There's every team looking at every player that becomes available. Why can't we just look at the reality and say, we got Aaron freaking Rodgers. We got Aaron freaking Rodgers. All right? Case closed. I don't care if he doesn't get this one or that one or this one or this one and this one gets away. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, you don't say he failed or he succeeded. At the end of the day, you look at our team. Where does our team stand right now compared to the way it stood 2 years ago? Are you happy or are you not? Do you think we didn't get better? Are you saying that you're not happy with the team that we are right now in 2023 as opposed to the team that we were in 2020? I mean, are you kidding me? No, we're not going to be able to get every single player that hits the market, right? It's time to just look at the overall picture. Every draft pick is not going to hit. Every free agent signing is not going to hit. And we're not going to get every guy that you want. The reality is, though, we're going to look at the team. Aaron Rodgers came to the Jets for one single reason. And that reason is he believes he could win a Super Bowl on this team. That means JD is a success. And that is my rant.
I like it. I like it. It's something that I've said a bunch when talking about Jets fans, and everyone thinks that the Jets can be operated like a video game Madden. You just get whoever you want. You can turn the salary cap off, and if you don't get the player that a fan wants, he's been labeled, "Oh, Joe failed. Joe failed." You got to remember, the player has to want to come here too. The team needs to want him. The player needs to want to come here, and then the financials have to be right. There's plenty of times that somebody swoops in with more money and they go elsewhere. So I think it's a good, nice little start to the segment. Best of us.
I totally forgot that the rant was part of Festivus on Seinfeld. I totally forgot.
Rest in peace, Jerry Stiller. One of the greatest television dads of all time, because he was George's father on Seinfeld, but then he was Carrie's dad on King of Queens, which I watched more of. I know that's blasphemous to say to a Jewish guy, but I wasn't a big Seinfeld fan. I enjoyed King of Queens more, and also Thursdays in the mid-90s I was playing basketball, so I had games and stuff. I was always out. All right. I'm gonna start my rant. My first chaotic pride rant.
Super chat. He made a super chat.
I'm also gonna go at the fan base a little bit here, and I'm gonna go after the guys and gals who everything is the biggest or the worst thing that they've ever seen in their entire life. We signed Amos last week. Oh, what does that do? Calm the F down. You look like an idiot on Twitter. Stop trying to overreact. Stop trying to get the angry mob in South Park to rubble. Stop trying to get everybody riled up with you because you don't comprehend that you need C and D level moves in an offseason. You need 4th, 5th, and 6th round picks on the team for special teams and depth. Not everyone is going to be the next 6th round pick Tom Brady. It's just not logical. It's not the way that the sports world works. Some guys are going to miss, like Jeremy said, but not every move is going to make us a title contender, and not every miss is going to make us a 2-15 team. So part of my rant and the message, all my rants are going to have a message. The summary of my rant is this. Calm the F down. Let things play out. Let players develop. Stop acting like you gotta get hits and clicks. And everyone on Jet Twitter, relax. Stop trying to get your tweet to go viral because you're doomsday or over celebrating. Let things play out sometimes. We don't need to have a million of the same tweets instantly. It's not fun. It's like when something happens in the Jet world, I'll look at it and be like, "Ooh, I got to avoid Twitter for a bit on this because I'm not going to be able to keep my mouth shut." So enjoy the process, right, guys? And not you guys in the chat so much as it's more Jet Twitter. And if you're the crazy one on Jet Twitter, then yes, I'm talking to you. But that's it. Simple. It's a June rant. Our rants will get more exciting, more in-depth, more passionate as we go along. But I'll throw it to you, co-host, for review.
Well, I'm gonna say, Twisted. Put your message. Here's the issue with. I'm assuming when you say your super chat, you're talking about your membership celebration, like your 3 month of being a member free super chat. I don't see those in StreamYards. It's a big issue with YouTube and StreamYard is they don't have that compatibility. It doesn't show that. So put your chat in so I can highlight your chat, and I will put it up there, because the reason that you're not seeing it is because I can't see it. I can't see what your super chat was. It's big problem. It annoys the hell out of me, but I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, we've only had the one come in from Tony, I believe, right, Alexia?
Right. No, but the freaking just retype it, Twisted. What happens is there's when you're a member, you get a free super chat, and it doesn't show it in StreamYard.
Oh,
like
it doesn't
Green
link
has
it.
the same problem. Green has the same problem. He can't see people's super chats that are free that are supposed to be
Okay.
read. Super chat. The only thing that may hold us back this season is coaching. How hard does this affect us? We have talent. Your thoughts? I know. I don't think that Salah's a bad coach. I think he was a rookie coach. He's had 2 seasons. I mean, he's still made some mistakes last year, but he was a lot better coach last year than he was his first year. And I think that he's going to continue to get better. We are so fickle in New York. We gave up on Pete Carroll, and we just sent them away, right? And look how that turned around. Cleveland fired Belichick. I mean, the Cleveland Browns had Bill Belichick.
Deservedly so.
Huh?
Deservedly
No, but
so.
still, I mean, my point is, we give no time, and some people develop into greatness, and some people right away hit the ground running.
Yeah.
But I think that this is the real test for Salah. If Salah was to come in this year and he makes mistakes and he costs us, and we don't have a great season with this level of talent, and we end up 9-8 or something like that, or if we lose in the first round of the playoffs, we could start questioning the coaching. But he started with a new roster made from scratch, an expansion team his first year. I mean, we completely ripped down the roster and rebuilt it. So let's give the guys some time. But do I think coaching makes an impact? Yes. I think coaching makes a huge impact. I don't care how much talent you have. And I think the Cleveland Browns are a perfect example. If you look at the Cleveland Browns for the last 4 years, they have had a lot of talent. But what does it really mean? It means nothing if you don't have good coaching, and they haven't had good coaching. So look at the Giants. The Giants, with tons of holes in their team, tons of question marks, get this new coach, and suddenly they're in the playoffs. So, yes, I think coaching makes a tremendous difference.
Agreed. And I think having a former head coach running your offense and your defense helps. And I think the preparation of 2-minute drills, having Aaron Rodgers run your 2-minute drill on his own and having the freedom to pop those timeouts when he wants, that's big. That's a fourth coach, right? That's a fourth coordinator that we have with Aaron Rodgers. You got to remember, the clock management is going to be something we've never seen before. I thought Chad was pretty good at it. There were some times, but Chad had nowhere near the freedom that Aaron Rodgers is going to have. Aaron Rodgers is going to pick when we're in the hurry up. Aaron Rodgers is going to pick when we burn the timeout. Aaron Rodgers and Hackett are very well connected, and Rodgers will have that freedom. So the Detroit Lion game with the clock, you're not going to see that with Rodgers. You're going to see the best game management we've ever seen. So that's not a concern for me. That's just the respect of an all-time great quarterback running your offense. He's not going to be looking at the sideline for signals. He's going to burn the timeout when he feels it's right, and rightfully so. He's the franchise right now for the next 3 years. Yes, I said 3 years. That's my prediction. Quote me.
I hope so. I'd love to have 3 shots at it.
Especially so when you're up at 17 every fourth quarter, there's not many coaching decisions to make. The coaching will be done during the week in the preparation.
I mean, the great thing that would come out of 3 years is that our younger players, our babies, are only going to get better and enter their prime. So every year that Aaron Rodgers can stay is a year that we're going to have even a better chance just from the talent we already have, because Garrett's going to get better and better. He hasn't come close, year 4 or 5. That's your prime as a wide receiver. Sauce Gardner, JJ. I mean, McDonald is going to be only a rookie this year, but think of how good he'll be his sophomore year, his junior year, if he works out. Years 2, years 3. Sorry. It's just the way it is. So we got Gitmo Bob in the house. What's going on, Gitmo Bob? Good to see you here. So, and Haider Ali is here. It's good to see him.
He had a good comment before. He was like, "Forgive me, I'm 7 minutes behind," and then it was like about Carvel. I missed the comment because I was looking for the super chat.
Yeah, and everybody lived near Carvel back in my day. Like, when I was a kid, like in Brooklyn, there was a Carvel everywhere. You could not live near a Carvel. The last Carvel I really knew about was actually on the New York Thruway. That was coming back from upstate New York when we were on the Thruway. There was a Carvel at one of the rest stops. So here's the thing that's driving me.
Great question. We've discussed this on the phone today. Go ahead.
No, we were talking about this before.
Yeah, good question. We wanted to bring this up. Great question.
Yeah. We don't know. Either of us. I mean, we don't know. What do you want to say? That's the whole point. What's going on?
Yeah, we actually discussed this today on the phone when we were speaking, and one of the things I brought up, it's a tough time of year to get news because everyone's out of the building. Like, not that it's ever a good time to get hurt, but in terms of getting information, he got hurt right at the end of like OTA. So the doctors, everyone is like on their little hiatus right now. So information, the media is out all over. Congratulations to Connor Hughes, just had a baby girl on the 19th, beautiful little girl. The media is on hiatus. There is one media member. I'll get to this next. Remind me of Samini's tweet, please. But the fact that we're not hearing anything might be good, right, guys? Like, maybe there was an overreaction. But, I mean, the fact that the Jets acted and stole Amos away from was it Baltimore? Washington?
Green Bay.
I forget.
Green Bay.
No. One of the teams had him in for a visit, and we, signed him that day because he picked us because of the prospect of playing more. So you got to believe that Clark might be down and out for the year. So unfortunate, it's unfortunate. The guy never missed a game. I think he missed a game or two in his whole career, and you just hope that it doesn't domino effect into more guys getting hurt and more time missed for others. So it's unfortunate. Everything, Walter Payton, Man of the Year nominee, another great locker room guy. And he gets it taken away from him before he even starts. It's a shame.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's not anything major. I mean, I'm 6 weeks post ACL surgery for me, and I'm moving around like a monster. I could play opening day. I don't know why some of these guys need 11, 12, 14 months. It's preposterous to me. No.
Yeah.
No, Braden, they haven't.
Well, he's saying that I think he's pointing out that they haven't signed. I'm not worried about it.
Oh, I'm not worried about it. The Tippmann thing is going to be curious and interesting because guys in round 2 are starting to get some guaranteed money as if they're first rounders. And Tippmann and his agent can be like, he's the first guy at his position off the board. Let's pay him. So, let's give him that guaranteed 4th year. I forget who it was. It was a defensive end that the Seattle Seahawks signed. Kid from Auburn. Hall, maybe? Brandon Hall? Edge rusher from Auburn round 2. And he got the most guaranteed money that I think it was $3.5 million of it. The contract was guaranteed, which is the most that a second rounder's ever gotten in the NFL. So it could be a little posturing with that. I mean, we all plan on this guy being the next Mangold Mawai, going to be plugged in for a decade. Let's not have him miss any camp and get behind. Let's get him signed. Derek Hall. Thank you, Matt. I knew it was something. Good call, pal. Thanks. So I'm not stressing it. I'm not stressing McDonald. I love McDonald's. I'm not stressing the Tittman situation. I think Joe will get everyone in there. And as a rookie, you do not want to fall behind. If you are not there day one with Aaron Rodgers as your quarterback, you might not get the chance because you won't have the trust. And he will say, I'm going to go with the veteran who I know has been here from day one. Because if you don't think Aaron Rodgers is going to have a say in who his center is, you're out of your mind. Respectfully, of course.
If Chuck Clark is out for the season, how does that affect the trade? What trade?
We traded
trade with Baltimore.
We gave away a 6th or a 7th.
We gave seventh round pick.
There's not. It doesn't. It doesn't affect it at all. We're still going to give up the 7th. I don't think Clark's playing time or anything had to do with it. So I don't think that would concern Harlan, to be completely honest with you, pal.
Yeah, I doubt there was a condition with it as well. I mean, that would be a shock. I mean, usually when you trade a 7th round pick, when that's the trade, usually you don't sit there and say, and I want a condition if I'm going to give you that pick.
Yeah.
Usually you just have, it's only going to cost us a 7th round pick for a guy who got over 100 tackles the last 2 seasons.
Yeah, and I mean, it's a shame that he got hurt. It's everything. All signs pointed up with him. It was going to be one of those under the radar signings that really solidified the back end of the defense, and it sucks. I hope he's not out from here, but
we don't really know. We don't really know. That's the thing. We don't know.
Thoughts and prayers, Jeff. Thoughts and prayers.
Thoughts and prayers. Look, the reality is that usually by now, that usually, I mean, they don't do the surgery right away because the inflammation has to go down. But in my lifetime, when a guy tears an ACL or tears his Achilles or whatever it is, a season type ending injury, they usually know within a couple of days. Sometimes it takes a day. We'll know tomorrow or after tests. This guy already went for a second opinion last week. So we just don't know. And I don't know why they're not saying it. And then I like what you said this morning. Look, maybe Salah's in Hawaii with his family. Maybe JD is off, on vacation. Maybe these guys are getting some rest and relaxation before they go dive back into 10 straight months of work without a day off. And maybe there's just no one to talk to the media, and they're just not worried about talking about it yet. We don't know. I will say that.
I could just chime in real quick with that. We will have 2 weeks off. We will have the week off when the first round of the playoffs happen, and we'll have the week off before the Super Bowl. So there's a few days off in there.
Not for those guys, though.
No, okay, you're right.
I don't think those guys. The players, we get it time off. They don't. So I would trade our second round selection every single year if it meant getting an established player who can play right away, draft picks or lottery picks. Well, I mean, if you're talking about a guy like Aaron Rodgers, if you talk, you also have to remember the established players, how much do they cost? Because eventually you can't maintain that forever.
Mike Tannenbaum comes to mind immediately. Mike Tannenbaum did this, and we had no depth, and we had no youth on the team, and yeah.
Let's remember that the way JD has been drafting, and I don't disagree, Vincenzo. Sometimes, especially when we're in win now mode, hell yeah, I had no problem giving up that second round pick, for Aaron Rodgers. Obviously, but also remember JD is pretty good. We've been getting some good names, in all the rounds. So, now we got Tittman, who could be like our, next Pro Bowl center or our next, center for 10 to 15 or whatever. So. He still has to do it, but we're all feeling that he has a good chance to be a really, really solid, great center. So second round picks are valuable. Breece Hall was a second round pick, but you're right. It's a lottery too. Now, if you tell me an established player that has 2 more years of cheap contract left or is signed to a nice deal that has a few years on it and he's established and you think he's going to help the team win, fine. But if you're talking about a guy who's making top money in his position, then I'm like, well, why give up a second rounder? Just look at the free agency and get a guy that doesn't cost you any draft picks. If you're already if that's what I never understood about trading for a guy that you have to trade capital and also pay top money.
Yeah.
We're a team now with Aaron Rodgers. We're a team people want to come to. We could be the team now that just gets the best free agent and at
You're right.
least not have to give up the capital. You know?
Yeah.
I hate
And-
double pay. I hate double pay.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I hate
And
having
I'm
to
on
pay
record.
both.
I'm on record. You know this. A lot of guys in chat know this. I was very vocal saying, give me Derek Carr. And I didn't want to give up draft picks and the money for Rodgers. But I'm all in on Rodgers now that we have him. I'm ecstatic. Real quick, speaking of Rodgers, Rich Cimini tweeted 25 minutes ago. Aaron Rodgers, speaking at the Psychedelic Science 2023 conference in Denver, said, his experiences with ayahuasca, whatever it is, have been radically life-changing, and that hundreds of NFL players have contacted him to learn more about it.
Wow.
Hiccups. So yeah, he's in Denver at the Psychedelic Science conference, and on stage is like a speaker. So I
think it's
I wish I would have known about this, like Zoom. Remember Zoom? If you bought $100 worth of stock in Zoom before COVID started, you would have like $100,000 in 2021. Like, is there a stock we can buy in Ayahuasca or whatever the hell it's called?
I don't know. I mean, it's always a little bit concerning, like when you do stuff that you like. How many years have people been using it? What the long-term effects? But and how long? If Rodgers is using things like that, how long has he been using it? Because if he was just using it since the beginning before last year, I'm a little worried because he didn't have his best year last year. And what if he's going to decline? If you tell me he was using it when he had his MVP years, I have no problem with it. And it doesn't seem to be illegal or banned by the NFL.
Yeah, I know they lessened the marijuana rules. They lessened that. I don't know anything else. I know, guys aren't allowed to blow lines like LT and do coke at halftime.
Yeah.
But there are certain things they're loosening up on and being less stingent on. So,
well, if they got less strict on marijuana, you know who that sucks for? Josh Gordon.
Because
his career was destroyed. His career was destroyed by it.
What was he just playing in USFL? He was a receiver in the USFL. I remember me and Nikki were at my brother-in-law's and we were watching, and Josh Gordon was one of the receivers there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't realize he was playing again, but like that. But he ruined his NFL career. He would have been. He was an elite wide receiver. It's just he couldn't stop. He couldn't get off.
He had like a 1,600-yard season, like with an awful quarterback. With chat, help me out. Who was the quarterback when Josh Gordon had that big season in Cleveland? His huge breakout year. It was after.
It's hard to know because they had a different quarterback every year. How can anybody possibly?
Every quarter.
Every quarter.
It wasn't Brandon Weeden. It wasn't. It wasn't Manziel. I think Manziel and him were together at some point, but it wasn't the year he had the big year. Hey, Gitmo Bob. I just saw you, man. How's it going, pal?
Said a lot of them before. You didn't
I'm gonna
notice?
look it up real quick.
Especially the way Rodgers has been since he came over to us. I'm stoked with him.
All right, so 2013, he had 1646. So in 2013, he had 87 catches for 1,646, averaging 18.9 a catch and 9 touchdowns. So let's go. Now we got that. 2013.
Let's look at who their quarterback was that year and who had the best, had the most yards and stuff.
Yeah. Now I had to go to 2013 Cleveland Browns stats and see who the main 4-12. Rob Chudzinski was the head coach. Come on.
Nobody is more upset when a player gets suspended for the use of marijuana than we the people. Like, there's probably no one angrier than him.
Oh wow.
Like how?
It was Brandon Whedon. I did say Brandon Whedon, right?
Yeah.
Brandon Whedon and Jason Campbell. And then
Jesus.
Brian Hoyer came in. Campbell had 2,015 yards and 11 touchdowns. Brandon Whedon, who kudos to me with a Brandon Whedon reference tonight, 1,731 with 9 touchdowns. Brian Hoyer had 615 for 5, and Spencer Lanning, who was a punter, had 11 yards and 1 touchdown on a fake. So, but that year they had 4,300 yards and 26 touchdowns collectively. So not a bad year. Go 4-12 with 4,300 yards and 26 touchdowns isn't bad. So shout out to Brandon, all the Brandon Whedon fans out there in the chat. Hey,
Isn't it adorable? Isn't it adorable, Nick? We made up.
Huh?
I said, isn't it adorable? We made up.
Yeah. I'm happy. I like. I'm a big fan of that.
Matthew Smith got them all right. What are you, the new Kareem?
No, you didn't get him right because you spelled Brian with a Y.
But
good job, Matt. I was looking down at my phone. I didn't see it. I didn't see it come up, Matt. But if you knew that off your head, kudos to you, brother. Well done.
But it's funny, the first person to ask about the Aaron Rodgers thing is a Miami Dolphin fan like Daniel, who's a friend of the channel. But I think it's funny because it's kind of like what we do with other teams, but you could tell like the people are our channel supporters that like other teams. It's funny the things that they'll allow to give them hope. Like, because I get the sense that he's saying it as a, how do you feel about that? Like it means that I'm worried or something. I'm not worried about it. Daniel had brought it up before that he was, about his affiliation with this, psychedelic drug. I'm not worried about it. I'm really not worried about it. I'll worry about it if Aaron Rodgers comes out and stinks and he doesn't play well for us, then you'll start to hear me muttering and say, maybe it's just drugs, idiot. But like, I see no evidence that there's anything wrong with Aaron Rodgers. From what I hear in camp, people were blown away by him. So just so you know, if he's done it, whatever is going on, Aaron Rodgers in our OTAs, the players were going nuts about Aaron Rodgers and the passes he was throwing and the way he played. And did you see that deep pass he threw, like 45 yards in the air? It's crazy high, and it just dropped down. It was one of the most amazing things to see. I don't think I've ever seen a Jet throw a football like that.
I commented today, I think it was Instagram, I saw Woody Johnson put up the Mike White to Garrett Wilson when the safety fell down for the touchdown last year in the Bears game. Mm-hmm. And he's like, oh, I forget Woody's comment or the Minions comment, who runs Woody's Instagram account. But I said, I was like, oh, I'm so excited to have a quarterback who can throw the ball more than 12 yards downfield this season.
Wow.
But when we see single high, it's going to be like the crowd. There should be a buzz in the crowd if they're dumb enough to put single safety high on us, because we're going to take a shot. And all right, I'm going to throw out a topic. I've been wanting to talk about this guy, and I'm going to do it right now. First, we're going to talk about his bling bling that we saw today. Have you guys seen Mecole Hardman's new chain with the jet on it? And he's got 2 jets here on the chain, and then you pick up the cockpit, and it's like him inside the chain. His nickname is Jet, so it's like perfect. Like it's the team that he plays for, and it's his nickname. Dude, if you go to Bleacher Report, it's phenomenal. Like it's like, okay, Sauce, your move now, buddy. What are you going to do in the chain game? But I will say this right now. I will go on record tonight at 11 o'clock Eastern. Mecole Hardman is not only the Jet breakout player, but the NFL breakout player of the year. I think in this system, with Wilson getting that attention, with the running game that we have, the shuffle passes, I think Hardman is going to be absolutely amazing with his speed and what he can do when he's got the ball in his hands And I think Hackett will find a way to just get him the ball and say, go make plays, buddy. We got the passing game and the precision passing everywhere else. We're going to do these little routes with you and your speed and your drags underneath. And I think that Hardman is going to shock Jets fans. I think Kansas City fans are going to be shocked. Like, where the hell was this here? They saw flashes of it. But I fully believe that that's a guy, when you look at this offense and you look at all the talent we have, it's going to be, where the hell did that come from? And that's my player on offense who's going to really, really shock people with what he does. You know, I'm not expecting 100 catches. He has 55 to 65 catches, 8 total touchdowns, maybe like 700 to 900 all-purpose yards with some runs, some shuffle pass. Him and Wilson running a double reverse, that speed. It's going to be really, really fun to watch what they do with him and how they utilize him. And I think Hackett can draw up some really cool things with him in terms of putting him in the backfield, putting him in motion, shuffle passes, reverses, putting him in the slot, trying to get a safety or a linebacker matched up on him. It should be really fun to see. That's my first player to keep an eye on. I think this guy could be really, really special with us.
Wow. Look, yeah, I'm really excited. I'm just excited about the room. I just think that we have like that solid number one, but I think that everybody else is just so complimentary. Like, you just have these two big bodied guys, that do everything well. Like, Lazard might be the best blocking wide receiver in the game. Corey Davis is a very solid, very good blocking wide receiver. Then you got Hardman, like you're saying, who could do the sweeps and all that.
I didn't say that, Chris. I did not say that. I'm not that crazy. I'm not drinking that much Kool-Aid, bro.
Why couldn't we run a good screen if we have Aaron Rodgers now?
I'm kidding. We got to keep some. Things within expectations. Let's just throw a pass to a receiver in the flat or a running back in the flat, and then we could go from there. But yeah, definitely, Chris, it's going to be exciting, man. It's going to be fun to watch. Go ahead. I'm sorry, pal.
No, I'm saying I think that we have a very exciting wide receiver room, because I think it's deep. There's so many, there's guys that Aaron Rodgers already feels comfortable with. He's raving. I mean, he's just going ballistic about Garrett Wilson. Like when the one thing I didn't think he would do, and I don't think he's just throwing it out there. I don't think he's the type of guy that would do this unless he meant it. When he started comparing Garrett Wilson to Devontae, that was exciting. When he started saying he's as explosive and coming out of the route and the breaks, that's crazy exciting to hear. I can't even imagine how good Garrett Wilson could potentially be with a guy like Aaron Rodgers throwing him the football. Because to me, when I looked at the all 22, it felt like Garrett Wilson was open every play. He was always open. It's crazy.
And the difference this year, he's going to get the ball every time he's open. That's read one.
Right. Well, he's going to force.
You want me to throw out my Garrett prediction?
Throw it out there.
123 catches, 1669 yardage, 14 tutties. He's going Davante Adams level. His route running, he's always open. We got a quarterback who's going to get him the ball. It's going to be the first read a lot, and Rodgers is good enough, it's smart enough, and gosh darn it, people like him. He's going to get him the ball. There you go, a little 90s SNL reference for you. Yeah, I think Garrett, we're looking at Davante Adams' clone. I like to see him add about between this year and next season, maybe about 8 to 10 more pounds of muscle to be a little more physical, but his freakish ability, they are going to force feed him the ball. You're going to look at Antonio Brown, Davante Adams type of seasons where they just feed him the ball. His footwork is I
think I'm excited that we're going to force other teams to like it's going to get to the point, and we didn't accomplish this. Like we haven't seen this in a long time. We're going to have other teams having to really focus on them. Like they're going to have to double team them. They're going to have to find ways to stop them. And we have enough weapons that are going to rip them apart when they do that. We're going to punish them for that. Like, like look what it did when the Niners had Rice. If you go back to the 80s, if you remember those teams, I'm old enough to remember. What happened was, and we've seen this with Megatron, in Detroit. We've seen it with other great receivers. When the team has to focus so much on one player, it makes everybody else so much better because suddenly they have this easier route, right? They're not being double teamed. They're not having to worry about the cornerback covering them, getting help from the safety. And they're all talented in the NFL. And when you lose that edge, when that defense can't put the full pressure on you, and they're focused on one guy and giving you an opportunity, it makes all of them better. So, like, if they're double teaming freaking Garrett Wilson, how are they going to stop a guy as fast as Hardman?
Yeah.
Like, McCall Hardman's going to crush him.
Yeah. And then you got the tight ends underneath. I think, we're going to get several guys with career years this year. Conklin will have a career year. Wilson will have a career year. Hardman. I expect about the same from Lazard's best. Like, I think his value is going to be outstanding in the run game. And I think, same thing we kind of get with Corey Davis. Like, he'll make a big slant catch here or there, on like a key third down. But he might have that one huge game with 9 catches, 150, But I don't think that that's something you're going to see very consistent. I think Wilson is going to be little fantasy talk. I think by the end of the year, he's top 5 fantasy wide receiver. I just think he's got the quarterback to do it. He's got the coordinator with the wherewithal to get him the ball. And if you want to see how they're going to use Garrett Wilson, go look up Aaron Rodgers' 2 MVP seasons and watch some games with how they got Devontae Adams the ball just to get the ball in his goddamn hands. You're going to see a lot of those plays this year. You're going to see trips on one side, Garrett by himself on the other, and let him just dog somebody.
I think what's really exciting, and I think some of the other teams, other fan bases don't realize this, because the people that are being negative, when I see people being negative, saying, "Oh, he's shot, he's not going to be that good." Jet fans are, they're overreacting. No, I think that more realistically, and this is going to be even hard for us to get used to. I think we're going to be a team that scores a lot of points. Like, I think we're going to see things that we've never seen as Jet fans. I think there are going to be games where we 20 plus points in the first half, more than we've ever seen. Like, I think we're going to be explosive.
We're going to be leaving games at halftime for a good reason. Because they're going to be tough in the second half.
Yeah, there are going to be tough weeks. There are going to be weeks that are tough because it's not like Aaron Rodgers and Green Bay scored tons of points every week. They had, it's like anything else. But we're going to have weeks where we're rolling, where we're just scoring and putting up big points. I'm just worried, or not worried, but wondering about Monday night, having to start the season against a very good defense. Do you, in the first game before they've had time to gel, is that going to dishearten Jet fans if we come up and, we only scored, 17 points, or, if we don't score a lot of points, is that going to dishearten Jet fans and create panic?
Oh, that first week? 34-17 Jets.
Yeah. I
beat. And before anyone jumps down my throat, let me explain it. We are built to beat the Bills, the Chiefs, and the Bengals. Our defense is built to stop the passing attack. Go look at Josh Allen's numbers against us last year. 17 of 31, 2 interceptions, no touchdowns in the loss at MetLife. And then he had 2 touchdowns in the game in Buffalo. They only won 22-9 with Mike White and no offense at all. You only got 22 on us. Those are days in the past. Matt Barkley put up 40-something points on us years ago, starting for Buffalo. This is your franchise quarterback. This is the Madden cover guy. You got to understand, now that we have an offense, that defense is rested, we get more points, they are fresh, and something we haven't seen. Late in the game, we will have double-digit leads, which means what? going to be teeing off more. Our sack numbers are going to go up. We're going to be able to jump routes where our interception numbers are going to go up because teams are going to be throwing the ball more on us in the fourth quarter instead of running the clock out, which we've seen dozens of times in dozens of losses over the last several years. So
Yeah.
I think Buffalo is just on the tracks, and there's a train coming through on September 11th. The energy in that building is going to be unlike anything we've seen since the Colts playoff game when we rolled them 41-0. And the week
There's no
before
question.
when we beat the Packers 42-17. Like, I am a full believer this game is going to be a statement to the league that, holy crap, the Jets are legit.
That's my hope. My hope is that we're going to come out the first few weeks and just go nuts, and right away have the whole league say, like, there's a chance that's going to happen. There's a chance that our defense is going to be this top 5 defense. They're not going to be stuck on the field like crazy because of all these 1, 2, 3 and outs. We're going to have an offense that moves the ball and puts up points, and we are going to be what we've always dreamed we could be, what we've always dreamed and wanted. And we're finally going to be one of those top tier teams. The possibility of that happening is definitely there. It's not definite, I'm not swearing it will be, but if everything clicks the right way, it might really be that. And that's so exciting. But like, the excitement of that the potential that we might be that team that everybody else is looking up to and saying, oh my God, how are we going to beat them? That team is rolling over everybody. And that's the one good thing about having that tough schedule in the beginning, because if we roll over the Bills, go into Dallas, first of all, end the streak for the Patriots and pound the shit out of them, and then go into Dallas and kick their ass, the whole entire NFL is going to be looking and saying, holy shit.
Agreed. And here I am
That's
trying to
gonna-
catch myself with cursing on your channel because you yelled at me a year ago. So now, green light, we're good.
I mean, there's a difference of saying holy shit and an hour and 11 minutes of the show. And our friend CJ, who I'd love to have on the show again, but I can't have him right from the very beginning.
I got you. I'm teasing you. I'm teasing you. And I tell the people all the time, I'm from New Jersey. Here, they're just adjectives.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to come out, but like,
yeah, and I am. I don't think I'm drinking Kool-Aid. I think everything I'm saying. I take pride in when I give an opinion about something. It's not what I like lambasted and roasted earlier about the overreactive Twitter things. I don't say things for shock value. I don't give my opinion. Like, when I do give my opinion, I like logic and common sense to be, a part of it. Hi, Mrs. Chaos. Like,
is she on the chat?
I thought when you put your arm out, I thought she was bringing you something.
No.
I thought you were reaching her hand. I thought a plate or something entered the room.
I've been fighting with my lighting all night. I don't know what's going
Oh,
on. Why
okay.
I have the shadow because my overhead light's not on. I don't know what's going on.
It's that big egghead.
It's like,
That
my big
head's getting
egghead.
larger.
I'm getting chatted up. I got Dom C. I have Dom C. texting me saying the shadow's on your head, and I'm like, I don't know what to do. I got freaking spotlights. Look at this. I have spotlights on me, and I cannot get rid of the shadow.
I just think that now with the camera upgrade, the microphone upgrade, and I finally have the room set up where I can use the stand with like the photographer like lighting, the umbrella lighting. I just think I look that amazing that you've just fallen off. And when I had the crappy webcam, the built-in camera to the computer, you overshadowed me. No pun intended. Oh, you look much better. Now see how good he looks.
Hey, wait a second.
Wait, we
that
switched
back.
each other at the same time.
Oh my God, we keep switching.
All
there
right,
we go.
stop. I got it. Hey, Knob. Oh, hey, Weed. Super chat coming in from Weed the People. Thank you, sir.
We win week 1, I'm sending you both a whole pizza. I will give you the information on how to send me a pizza. Like I'll give you the name of the place, how you order, because when you order a pizza
Wait.
from
I have a question. Do we get one pizza each, or are you splitting a pie in half and half goes to New Jersey and half goes to Cali?
because I'm taking it seriously. I'm thinking maybe he will actually order a pie from the Sacramento place that actually has good pizza. And it's called the Brooklyn pie because they do an 18-inch, but you have to say, I want the Brooklyn pie, the 18-inch
DiGiorno,
Brooklyn
4
pie.
cheese rising crust.
Because you can send one of those pizzas here anytime you want, my friend. I leave on Saturday for North Carolina, and North Carolina got some really excellent pizza. I am super excited. So
awesome.
Super excited because they get all the ingredients down there.
Safe travels.
Oh, no, I'll let you know. I leave Saturday night on the red eye. I get there Sunday morning. So
awesome.
So I'll be broadcasting next week out of North Carolina. I was thinking of maybe bringing the computer out and showing my parents so that everyone could look at like Grandpa and Grandma Chaos.
Oh, awesome.
I know people like Get My Bob.
How you getting my life to broadcast?
This is a guy I have to hook up with Knobcraft when I'm in North Carolina.
I was furious at him last year. I didn't even know he was going to the game. And then afterwards, I saw like a picture of something on Twitter, social media. I was like, you son of a bitch, you were there? He's like, I know, I'm sorry.
Yeah, he was over. Yeah, because you were at a different tailgate.
Yeah.
Gold Belly Special can melt a credit card. I don't have to use Gold Belly. Like if somebody there's a pizza place here I'm perfectly happy with. I mean, it's a below average New York pizza, like if it was in New York, but it scratches the edge. It's fine.
Nice.
It's slices where I could fold it up and eat it. It's real.
Okay.
So
I'll take you to a good one here too. If you like that type, I'll take you to there's 2 places that we'll go to when you get out here.
You know me, I like all the styles. I like the regular football style pizza is fine, but also if you say, "Hey, I'm going to take you for bar pie," or "I'm going to take you for a tomato pie," like any of those things will work for me.
Yeah, yeah. There's a few good spots here. You tell me to type, and I'll take you to the right one. What I was saying earlier was when I give a take, like I provide my logic, my rationale, my thought process behind it. I just don't say, "Oh, we're going to win 13 games." I'll explain why. I think with our defense, with our quarterback, with our weapons, we lost, I think it was 7 one-score games last year. 6 or 7 one-score games. Newsflash. We're winning those 6 or 7. Those 6 or 7 wins put us at 13. I know the schedule is tough, but guess what? So are we. We have an elite defense that stops people. Like, oh, what about Philly? All right, what about Philly? We can cover A.J. Brown and Smith. Goddard worries me until we prove we can stop a tight end. I'll admit that. Kelsey worries me. I wouldn't be surprised if you see every time Kelsey flexes out, Sauce goes with him. National television, Jer, Sauce Gardner shadowing Kelsey would put, and he does well. We're talking Darrelle Revis stratosphere for this guy. If he goes around and follows Kelsey every time he's flexed out, you're talking all-world cornerback.
If he shuts down Kelsey, it's
4 catches, 7 yards. Like if you hold Kelsey to under 7 catches and under 50 yards, I think that's a great day. I mean, he did have one game against the Raiders where he had 4 catches, 4 touchdowns. I'm not talking that type of game. But I really believe there's not a facet of football where somebody can line up and really beat us. We can run the ball. We can pass the ball. We can play great defense. So I'm optimistically excited about this team. I think great things are going to come. I'm going to enjoy a step of it. Like we always say, what's the expression that football fans always say? I can't wait for next season. I can't wait for next season, right? I can't wait for opening day. I can. And the reason I want to wait, we don't have Rodgers. He's not 24 years old. We don't have him for 15 years, right?
Right.
I want to enjoy the OTAs. I want to enjoy the videos popping up when they're in California working out together. I want to enjoy the training camp stories. I want to enjoy the positional battles. I want all of it. I want to enjoy the journey, right? I've been saying that in sobriety, enjoy the journey. I want to enjoy the journey with the Jets.
Dude, I
if
just
we
got
lose
the
the game-
best.
Yeah, I saw it pop up too. I saw the tweet pop up.
Just so everybody could see. This is from We the People. One
That's great.
pizza each. I'll
That's
send you the info.
great.
I'm Knobcraft. I'm going to be in North Carolina for 2 weeks starting on Sunday. I don't know if you ever heard of it. We're going to Durham and we're going to this pizza place that allows you. It's a special thing. We had to pay like $30 each and do a reservation, me and my brother. At 11, we have to show up at 11:12 a.m. And what they do is it's pizza brunch. They have these long tables. You sit there and they come around with all these experimental pizzas, all these different toppings that they're trying out. And it's all you can eat pizza. And you just sit there sampling pizza slices. Can you imagine the damage I'm going to do?
I've eaten with you several times. Yes, I can imagine the damage you're going to do. Now, when you say 11:12 a.m., do you mean 11 o'clock and 12 minutes, or do you mean between the 11-12 o'clock hour?
No,
You have to show up
11:12.
exactly at 11:12.
You have to be there at 11:12 because they literally say you have to be there at 11:12. I don't know why. That's the thing. They seat
okay.
at 11:12 and they start walking around with the pizza, and it's like a Brazilian steakhouse. They just show you the pie and you shake your head yes if you want a slice.
Nice.
And then I guess you review it. You tell them which
Hey,
ones you liked and all that.
Read the people. I see 732, and I assume that's the area code. And I know I've asked you this before. Where are you located? Because that looks like a very fantastic pie that you tweeted at us.
Sounds like a Hobbit meal. Onesies, 11sies.
What kind of
Second
shenanigans
supper.
go on at 11:12?
Early supper, first dinner, late supper. It sounds splendid.
Oh, you're in Keensburg?
I'll get you the name of the place
now.
now. I'll definitely
I
send you
lived
the
in
name of the place.
Keensburg for almost a year. I lived on Seabreeze Way, a block in from the beach right there, right where the parking lot is. I was right on Seabreeze.
Let me see if it's turned to that page still.
So, yeah, it's going to be fun, right? Like the whole process, I'm looking forward to. Not watching you eat again. The Jets, like everything. Even if we lose a game, say we lose a game on the road, field goal last second. We didn't play our best, but we're still tied with the team, and they just happened to beat us. I'm going to enjoy the loss from this aspect. I'm going to enjoy how we fix things and how we come out next week and how we, as a good team, don't get beat the same way twice. And I don't see a lot of teams lining up and beating us. I just don't. I think.
So just to answer, no, sorry.
Go ahead.
I just want to answer Knockcraft's question. It's Pompieri Pizza. Pompieri Pizza, like Pompieri Pizza in Durham. Pompieri Pizza. I'm probably saying it wrong. But anyway, go ahead.
It's probably the only good thing in Durham because Duke sucks.
You'll be surprised. Like it's when you go to those campuses, it's so much fun. The shots that they take at each other, like the restaurants have food names of sandwiches that insult the other at school. It's so funny. But
Oh, hey, Braden got.
I don't know. I don't know. I feel like over the last 30 years, 35 years, Duke has probably gotten the best out of UNC. Like Duke has more championships, right? He's gonna get so mad at me.
They don't have more championships.
Who has more ACC titles in 30 years?
They might have more ACC titles, but I believe Carolina has one more championship. I think it's 6 to
Oh.
5.
Oh, okay. That's a lot. They have 6. Wow.
Jordan, Eric Montrose,
Yeah.
Tyler Burrow, Sean Mannion.
Stackhouse and Wallace, baby. 2 diaper dandies.
They never won one. Stackhouse and Wallace didn't win one, and Carter and Jameson didn't win one either. And I thought Carter and Jameson was the most talented tandem they've ever had.
I used to love the way Dick Vitale used to yell that, though. It was great. It was like, yeah, baby, UNC, Stackhouse and Wallace, 2 diaper dandies, baby.
Oh, shout out to Carter. Vince Carter just got put into the Florida Sports Hall of Fame. Yeah, he came up in Florida. I forget the city that he's from, but they just put him in the Florida Sports Hall of Fame. I saw that on North Carolina Instagram today.
Do you know, Nick? I think that I could have told people that I have Nick Mangold on the show, and you could have just been Nick Mangold, and people would have bought it.
I can't
Like, I think if you would
at his level. I can make some nice
I think,
ribs.
I think that if you would, we would have fooled some people if you would have just pretended you were Nick Mangold. If I
This
said,
is
"How
too
did it
dark.
feel?"
This is too dark. He's got that golden yellow beard. There's no way.
Yeah, but like, we the people. You don't think that, by the time the show starts, he's not in the mental state of mind that he's going to get fooled? I can tell Weed the People that I'm Kojak, Telly Savalas, and he'd believe it right
that.
now.
I would believe that. Like, I've never seen the two of you in the same place at the same time, so it might be. I would have confused you for Danny DeVito's Penguin, but then when I met you, you were much taller than I expected. The camera angle. Yeah, I guess we're always sitting, right? Like, we're always sitting when we're doing these shows, so you don't get a real perspective of somebody's height.
Everybody keeps saying that. Like, Green Bean would not stop about it. When I met him in person the first time, he came walking up to me and he goes, you're so tall, dude. He goes, you're so tall.
The opposite. I thought Green Bean was going to be taller, like just the stature.
I know, and he's a dwarf. He's fucking Gilmo from freaking Lord of the Rings. He's Gilmy.
With the beard, with the beard. With the beard, the Travelocity gnome with the big beard. Yeah. And I say that
like,
a lot.
I can almost imagine Green Bean coming up and saying, "And my axe." That only counts as one.
Nice.
Yeah, there you go. He's saying it too.
Yeah, that was fun. I was down there in 2020 when it was closed, and then the week I left, it reopened. My kids were like, "What the hell, Dad? You lived there for like a year. We didn't get." I went down there in September, the day that like everything, September of 19. I'm sorry, October 1st of 19, and everything shut down. Like, I met my friends at a bar, like going down there. I didn't get down there until like after work at like 11:30, and I walk in and the lady's like, "Hey, do you want anything? We're about to close." I was like, "What do you mean?" And she's like, "Oh, we're not just closing for tonight. We're closing for the season. We're done until like April or May." I'm like, "All right, well, give me 10 beers." I'm like, "You got to empty out the cooler. Let me help." But and then it never opened in April, May, June, July of 2020. It opened up like the last week of July, 2 days after I left there.
Amazing.
What's Apple Jacks? Apple.
There was a place in
one of the bars there. Weed the People.
Yeah.
Apple Jacks. I think Apple Jacks is the name of the bar.
That's a cereal, you numbskull.
It's also the name of the bar, I believe. He'll tell me what the name of it is. It's like 2 blocks in from the beach. It's on one of the main streets heading down there.
So
I think I did get Pizzaville during COVID. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was saying there was a place in Brooklyn that it's weird. We didn't go as much. When I was a teenager, we started going. My friends would drag me to this place called Nellie Bly. It was in Brooklyn, and it was like, you know how like the traveling carnivals are, like crappy kind of rides, like the booths with the fill the balloon, like, and they kind of travel around when there's like a fair or a festival. Like, imagine like a traveling carnival. Well, this one was like permanently there. Like you can go any Friday, Saturday night, and they had like a carousel and like crappy rides, and you could win teddy bears by filling up the balloon, whatever, the normal crap. And it was like a permanent one that was there. And I remember there were times where I was hungry and I was thinking, what do I want to eat? And I almost wanted to go there just to get like the junky kind of carnival food. Isn't that pathetic?
There's nothing wrong with the little
You're
funnel
so
cake. There's nothing wrong with the little funnel cake.
Funnel cake, corn dogs.
Zeppelis is fantastic. Oh, I wanted to. I just lived in Avenel, New Jersey, on Avenel Street. Where were you at, Klecko? And how old are you, too? Give me those answers.
Years.
I've done plenty of French drained in Avenel. Not a bad area. Yeah, I lived in Avenel, and I'm now in Port Reading, the next town over. All part of Woodbridge Township. Oh, we're both doing it. Go ahead. I was home for 25 years. Were you here for high school? I just right away when I hear teenage years, I think high school. I don't know if he means later teen. Non-traveling. So
I was hoping that Afram would be here, and if he ends up in the show, I just announced the door.
Your connection is really bad right now, man.
Is it better now?
Yes. Whatever someone asked that question. Like the internet gods know when someone says, "Can you hear me now?" It works crystal clear. But when you say something of substance, it's crap.
I just want to say to Afram, when you listen to this, because I know he watches the show when it's not live sometimes, the door, and I was saying how Jewish it sounds when I say it, the door is fixed. I fixed the door. The door is fixed. But it's we did get that. We got that door fixed. Buddy of mine came over.
The door.
The door. We actually had to carve out. We had a bezel. That's what they call it, right? We had a bezel and another spot for the brackets to go because the holes were not repairable. They were just too big. That's what she said. Nellie Bly is down the block from my house. Is it still open? That's what I really want to know. I mean, Nellie Bly, if that's still open, that freaks me out because I'm talking about 35 years ago. Like I'm talking about 35 years, 36 years ago that we used to go there. So that'd be crazy if it's still there. It was when I discovered it with my friends, like when they took me there, so why did we used to come here more? That was the best way to meet girls. The hottest girls would go there, man. It's like, what the hell were we waiting for? It was like a gold mine. It's like a candy factory. So many girls.
Applejacks was the name of it. We went to Colonia High School. Yeah, that's where I graduated from, Klecko. I graduated from Colonia in '96. Small world, man. Oh, you're just a baby.
Oh, Gucci. Okay. Applejacks.
Yeah,
that's a great name for a place. That's a great name for a place.
Little dive, but for down there, it's like a big space. There's a lot of like little like dives, but it's got a big space inside.
Right. Did the guys from the Jersey Shore go there to drink?
Oh, I don't think they hit Keensburg.
Oh.
Yeah, those are the other ones.
Here we go. I cannot believe it's still open. That's incredible. I like that. That some things still are there in the world. That's incredible that Nellie Bly is still there. Unbelievable. So many years. It's amazing. It's so many years. That's like a taste.
We the people. I thought that was Keyport and South Amboy. I thought per square mile. I thought it was Keyport and South Amboy. I'm surprised. I was a cable guy too, so these were some of the towns that I had to work in occasionally. But hey, you You mind if I call it a night? I've been sitting up in this chair for almost 2 hours.
I was just about to say dinner is
My
ready.
left leg is so swollen, and I got to elevate it and get it up on the wall,
Yeah.
drain, or else I'm waking up every 45 minutes when the fluid tries to get out. It's bad still with the swelling.
It's finals week, and I fly out on Saturday, so I got to get all my work done anyway. So I'm gonna tie some things up.
Tune in
Guys,
to Spring Break with Chaos this week. Spring Break, North Carolina, baby. Here we come.
NC baby, Knobcraft's gonna cook me something special, aren't you,
How
Knobcraft?
far? Yeah, Knob. How far away are you if you're still here? Where's
He's
he
in North Carolina. He's in Raleigh,
That's a
North
big
Carolina.
state. Oh, he's Raleigh. Okay, he's close. Oh, that'd
He's
be
in Raleigh.
good.
He's in Raleigh.
Nice.
I know exactly where he works. Not far from this really big mall that we used to go to. He's not far from the Crabtree Mall. All right. Well, we're going to wrap it up. I want to thank everybody. Yeah.
I know we got some new people in here for me. Guys, if you wouldn't mind checking out my channel, Proud New York Jets Fans, and please subscribe there. We got a really great group, and hopefully get to see some of your faces over there on my channel as well. What are you mumbling in the background? What are you mumbling?
Nothing. I'm telling him to sub to your channel.
I thought you were like, no, don't listen. Oh, and a little green light on the mic. I like that. It's not in the picture, but man, I'm so proud of this light.
Guys, everybody is watching after the fact. Everybody that watched live tonight, anybody who sees this and made it to this point, thank you so much for sticking around. I know it's dead season and it's not the most exciting thing, but we still appreciate everybody's company. I love talking to Nick. I love seeing you guys in the chat. I know things will pick up, but I just wanted to, I guess me and Nick both want to Iron Man through the off season. Just give us, the platform to still hang out, even if nothing's really going on. So thanks for joining us. We'll be back next week. We got some potentially very special guests. We don't want to overpromise, but there's something looking very good right now that we're very excited about. So keep your eyes open. We'll be back next week. Take care, everybody. We love you passionately. We are live. We got Harry W. We got Richie from Jets Media, Matt O'Leary, Iowan Jets fan, in the house. We got Dom C in the house. We got Steve, live, CEO of the Jet Lounge. So I knew I'd get rich on my channel. See what's going on. Yeah, there we go. Woo.
Let's go. Jets by 1 million today.
Yeah.